go where you want to be and stand strong. And that doesn't mean you've got to be confrontational. It doesn't mean, I think there's room for collaboration even when you are on different sides of an issue with somebody. But standing strong in your beliefs, I think, is something everybody can get behind.
Welcome back to Live at the Hive. I'm your host, Janice Jokkel, and I am super stoked to have our next guest today. Aaron is a legend of all legends. I would call him a true community connector. So welcome, Aaron.
Thanks,
so
Janice.
Happy to have you on the show.
Thanks, happy to be here.
So tell us, what do you do?
Well, I wear a couple hats actually, but I'm most recently have been appointed county commissioner for Medina County. So I'm one of 3 commissioners that we have in Medina County who assist in kind of the legislative and budgeting function of our county government. That's in addition to, prior to that, I guess, I was practicing attorney, have been a practicing attorney. My entire career really has been spent here in Medina, working with business owners and individuals on estate planning, real estate, and corporate matters. So a little bit of that, a little bit of public service, and filling the rest of the time with my family, and I've got a good, exciting life here in Medina County.
Good. And you have a couple kids in
I
Medina
do.
City schools, right?
Yes, I have a son, Lincoln, who's going to be in middle school next year, and then our daughter, Lucy, will be a 4th grader.
Oh, wow.
And my wife teaches, she's an art teacher in Brunswick.
Oh,
So,
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so school year, when the school year's in, and versus the summertime, summer break's a big time in our house.
Yeah.
So we're enjoying that now.
Yeah,
So,
good.
yeah,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Well, so our show is about getting to know the leaders in our community. So thank you for taking, you're a very busy man, and I'm honored to have you here with us today. So I always ask our guests, what would you like people to know you for? What legacy would you like to leave? They're saying, God, Aaron was.
It's a great question. Well, I'd like a little bit more time before they have to make those conclusions. So if I'm being honest,
I agree.
yeah.
I've never said anything. Nobody's asked that question.
But if it had to be done today, I do think, I think everybody wants to live a life of meaning. So being somebody who they said, you know what, whether we agree with him or disagree with him, and in the world of practicing law or in the world of being a community leader, people aren't always going to agree with you, and people are always going to know where you stand on things. But if people say, he was a man who was led by his beliefs, then I'm going to feel like I did something well. So somebody who, even if you don't agree with, you knew where you stood, and you knew where I stood on the issues that mattered. I guess that would be the thing that I think is most important. And then obviously, being a person, a family man, and somebody who looks out and takes good care of his family and those kinds of things goes right hand in hand with that. But in terms of the professional life, I think letting making people aware of my belief system, and that my decisions, while they may not always be popular, are going to be based on my firmly held beliefs.
That's great. So, awesome. Yeah. And you're right. It is very difficult to have your political, even though you are in the political light, right? You still run a business here in Medina.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's a risk factor attached to that, and you are pretty, you are amazing at what you do. So
I appreciate you saying that. I think, and sometimes I feel like I do all of it poorly. There are days like that you do feel that way, but I think, again, that's where it's great to be guided by your beliefs, because if you're out there and you don't stand for anything and you're just blowing in the wind, it's harder for people to get their arms around that. I think being somebody who can stand up and speak up for what they believe in. And for me, it started a few years ago being on school board, and I had a lot of opinions at the time that weren't very popular. And you get used to accepting the fact that, you're not always going to be liked by everybody.
Right.
But if your guiding principle is to be liked by everybody, you might find that your legacy isn't what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow. That leads right into my next question. The show is called Words of Wisdom, and you are a very wise man. So share with our viewers today, what words of wisdom would you like to leave with us today?
Well, did I get a time limit? Because when you're working with an attorney, you should always, how many words am I allowed to use? I could fill the rest of the day. No, I think words of wisdom is, go where you want to be and stand strong. And that doesn't mean you've got to be confrontational. It doesn't mean, I think there's room for collaboration even when you are on different sides of an issue with somebody. But standing strong in your beliefs, I think, is something everybody can get behind. And you may not always convince people. I like to say you can disagree without being disagreeable. Mm-hmm. But even if you're not convincing people, they'll at least respect you for being direct and letting them know where you stand. So
wow, authenticity is what I hear wrapped around that.
There you go. See, that's a lot less words.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, thank you. I know you are such a busy man, and to carve out just a couple minutes of your time to spend with us and our viewers. Until next time, until we have another community connector, we can't wait to see what their story is going to share. Have a great day. Toodles.